Team India win their first match against a very strong Australian side who are one of the favourites to actually reach the semi-finals. It was a good game. And at the end, there was also a sigh of relief from the Indian fans and the team and the management because they were in a pickle at a point of time. It was like, oof, okay, so we got the win, all is well. And then the funniest of thing happened when the game was over, when in the last moment when KL Rahul finished with that exquisite shot. That was a beautiful shot to actually wrap the game. But just before the ball was delivered, Ravi Shastri was there in the commentary and they were looking at the scoreboard and saying, okay, KL Rahul is batting at 91. So, India needed 5 more runs to win. If he can score a 4 first, then hit a 6, then he will reach his 100. A well-deserved 100 actually. But you know what happened? KL Rahul timed the ball perfectly because Ravi Shastri was saying, chip the ball over the long off boundaries, get a 4 and then go for the 6. And he nearly did that. That was the exact same thought that KL Rahul had. He wanted to chip it over the fielder who was inside the circle and then score the 4. But he timed it so sweetly that the ball went for a 6. Just imagine hitting a 6, winning a good game for your country, and your reaction is, oh no. He was happy that he won the match and all the celebrations came out, but that was really a good, funny, interesting moment because by then, the win was already in India's kitty. So once you have already made sure that your team will cross the line, why not go for a personal milestone, right? It's nice. So we'll start with our talking points. Point A was that moment, the winning runs from KL Rahul. Point 2, we'll stick on with KL Rahul. See, in a sense, KL Rahul at 5 made so much sense today because he's actually a proper opener. He's a player who used to open in the test matches, in the one days, and all formats actually. He's actually an opener. So what happens is, in a situation like today's, when you're losing 2 to 3 quick wickets, it was like after 2 overs, India were 3 down, all batters out before scoring. Captain Rohit Sharma, Ishan Kishan and Shreyas Iyer did not score a run. The scorecard was pretty funny. But then the player who is coming at a number 5 is actually an opener. So he has the temperament and he was also a test opener. So he can, if he needs to be. And KL Rahul, when he gets that kind of responsibility, usually plays well. At that point of time, if you're not bothered about the strike rate, then his innings will be very solid. And now he has developed his game. His hitting capacity has always been good. So he, at number 5, could be a blessing in disguise. Eases up the conversation about the number 4 spot. Shreyas Iyer will be thinking, okay, that slot could be mine. If he's having repeated failures, which I'm sure is not going to happen because he's too good a batter to have 2 to 3 games on the slot, bad games, he will definitely be scoring runs in the next or the next, and they will be coming in good flow as well because Shreyas Iyer is such a sweet player. So KL Rahul at number 5, that was our point number 2, and that's kind of like a good decision. Rohit was actually out to a beautiful delivery from Hazelwood. That was I always keep saying, if you can go back to all my earlier videos, we keep emphasizing on the point that it's absolutely okay even if the entire team we are out because of the opposition's deliveries were unplayable. They're bowling so good line or maybe the turn, whatever be the conditions. If the balls are so great, unplayable, it's okay, happens. You will have bad days, that's for sure. But throwing away your wickets and getting out to a great ball are 2 different things. Today, when Indian score was 2 runs and 3 wickets and that kind of disaster struck at the beginning of the Indian batting innings, 2 of the 3 batters who were out were actually playing some stupid shots. Ishan Kishan and Shreyas Iyer, they were not out to a great delivery which was unplayable. They threw their wicket away. Now, especially with the delivery that got Ishan Kishan out, that was wide, and if he had connected it, the ball could have pierced the infield and reached the boundary like a tracer bullet, but it was not to be, and that looked really stupid. So the thing is, that was the first ball Ishan Kishan was facing. He was confident that he will be able to do that, but assess the conditions, assess the bowlers, how they are bowling, and then maybe let's say in the 6th over or the 7th over, a ball is coming wide. That's juicy, man. You hit it, take it to the boundary, yes, but a little more sense. But that's okay. They know what they are doing. Professionals. They will be celebrating. They'll be saying, well played. From the ditches, we came back with a great partnership and we actually got the win, and all those things are fine. But also remember, you can score. You can score at a good, fast pace without risking too much. You can play some sensible shots, ground shots. The attitude should be there to score runs, not to just, stay there and waste balls. You can score, but do it sensibly. Don't play stupid shots and lose your wickets. Today, 2 out of the 3 wickets that went early were stupid shots. They gave away their wickets, and Rohit Sharma's delivery, the way that was a great ball from Hazelwood. Now, we'll also have to mention Virat Kohli, but we expect that from Virat Kohli. He has done it over and over and over again, and he just showed us again how important that role is and how important Virat Kohli is to the Indian cricket team. Now, let's get to our bowling. It was a thing of beauty to see the Indian bowlers operate. Before the tournament, I was actually having a word about Ravindra Jadeja, the bowler. Yes, we expect more things from Jadeja, the batter. And if you ask me, I would at least ask Jadeja to, come up the order, maybe bat at 3 or 4. At least bat at 3 or 4. Once in a while, not in situations like today when team was really in a bad spot. But otherwise, let's say the team got a good opening partnership. Then maybe ask Jadeja to go, just have some fun. Or maybe come at number 4. Because in case, if the situation gets a little more difficult and he has to come and finish a game, he will have more time in the middle at the back of his kitty, and that confidence will be nice. For Ravindra Jadeja, the batter. But for Ravindra Jadeja, the bowler, things are so different because he has got the real nice sweet spot when it comes to the length of the pitch, where to draw the batter out and confuse him. And if there is something a little bit in the pitch to help the spinners, Ravindra Jadeja can absolutely extract that. So he got the length right. I'm so happy. It reminds me so much of the Yuvraj Singh of the 2011 World Cup, where Yuvraj Singh was absolutely mind-blowing with the ball as well. Jadeja can be that. And Kuldeep Yadav, Ravi Ashwin, the team is looking nice. They can maybe make a 1 or 2 adjustments, a spinner out for a pacer if the conditions demand it. Otherwise, just stick to this. This looks nice. And of course, there is Siraj and Bumrah and Hardik to support. The bowling is looking nice. The fielding also, just make sure, don't get tensed. Things will be fine. So that's from Team India's perspective. A big plus being the spinners and the bowling in its totality, how it operates. Now let's have a word from the Australian perspective, from the Australian side. I wouldn't be too disappointed with what Australia... Yeah, in a sense, some of the weaknesses or maybe question marks about the Australian side were actually put under the hammer. Another reason is because they were up against a team who were masters of the conditions that we were playing in today. But Australia should not be worried because, Mitchell Marsh, it's not often that, he gets out cheaply like the way he does. But because if he stays for like 10 overs, the game will actually be moving in a very different direction. So Australia will come back. And just imagine, even if Warner is also taking a different flight, Smith and Labuschagne, those 2 players will be the key. And as long as they keep their senses intact, Australia will be absolutely fine. Today the game, they partly because the Indian bowlers were very nice. They were bowling to extremely great level, maximizing the help and conditions that were in offer. So yeah, it was not exactly Australia just throwing it away, but great bowling from Team India as well, which, like I said in the start of this video, that's okay. If you're losing your wickets to some great deliveries, some good attack, that's all right. Don't throw away wickets. That's the thing that Australia should not be worried about. Today was a bad day, but Australia will be fine because they're batting and they're bowling. It's okay. But you know what's going to hurt them? Ashton Agar was initially the part of the Australian side, and due to injury, he's not available. That could be a real problem in the Indian conditions, and what Ashton Agar would have actually brought to the table. They don't have a proper replacement for that kind of bowling quality when it comes to spin, because now their second option is Glenn Maxwell or let's say Labuschagne, who can bowl, who can do that job, maybe given some overs, and once in a while they can maybe get those 4 to 5 wickets, but not on a regular basis, not against some great teams, especially the subcontinental sides who can play spin well. So I think Zamba is kind of the only spinner they can say is up to that level. So that could be something which the Australians will be having in back of their mind. But otherwise, that's all right. It was a good game. Australia should not be too worried. Yeah, they had a bad game. They lost the game, but there were glimpses. So I'm looking forward to how both of these sides, India and Australia, progress in the tournament, because the way South Africans are playing, you cannot just say that it's not a 4-team race or 4 horses race to the 4 slots available for the semi-finals. It's at least 5, if not 6. So we'll see.